So, what was the answer to the question? It's going to have to do with perspective. There are some people who will see the glass and they'll say it was half empty. Then there'll be others who will say it was half full. But it boils down to perspective. And that's kind of what we want to look at this month. How you see matters. The idea is this: there is a perspective that believers are supposed to have, and I wonder if we have embraced that particular view. It's closely akin to a biblical worldview. We are supposed to see life through the lens of the Bible, and then it would dictate to us how we're supposed to live. Last month, as a matter of fact, it was Psalm 91 that we looked at, and the Bible says that he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High God. What is that about? How does that connect with this? Well, I believe that dwell has to do with a place that you live. And many of us, as I alluded to in the message, have been to hotels or motels or even have apartments. But when you have a home, that's where you live, that's where you dwell. There's a difference. But what I think may have happened is we have begun to check in the presence of God, and we're dwelling here on earth. And it's supposed to be dwelling in the presence of God, and we're then checking in here on earth. Well, if we have those things backwards, it will cause us to live a life that is backwards. As a matter of fact, Paul put it this way in 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Therefore, we do not lose heart. Even though our outward man is perishing, yet the inward man is being renewed day by day. Now listen to this. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we do not look at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Chapter 5, verse 1. For we know that if our earthly house, this tent, is destroyed, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. So Paul brings up the point in these verses that what we look at really matters. There is a scene that has to do with the temporal, and there's a scene that has to do with the eternal. If we are focused on the temporal view, then we're going to live as though here is where we belong. But the Bible tells us we're just pilgrims passing through. The eternal perspective is the one that we need to have. And when we have the eternal perspective, what that does is it draws our heart towards God. We begin then to lay up treasures in heaven where moth cannot enter in or the thief cannot rob. That's where we need to live. So all I'm trying to say is the way you see really matters. As a matter of fact, I believe, and I don't know where I picked this up from, there is something about the way we live. If you take the word live and you spell it out, it's L-I-V-E. You take that same word, spell it backwards, it is E-V-I-L. Well, if you take a D and put it on evil, it becomes devil. Why am I rambling about all of that? Well, we're supposed to live from an eternal perspective, but the devil wants us to live backwards, and that's evil. Why won't you join us this month as we look at how you see matters? Always remember, we would love to see you here at 1046 Hiram Davis Road. 9:30 a.m. is our worship service. Come join us.